Picture this. Mark Zuckerberg just spent $270 million on a compound in Hawaii. But this isn't just another billionaire vacation home. This place has blast-proof doors, an underground shelter, and every single worker who built it had to sign strict non-disclosure agreements so severe that some are too afraid to even describe what they saw. Now here's the question that should keep you up at night. Why is the man who spent 2 decades connecting the entire world now building a fortress to hide from it? And here's what makes this even more disturbing. He's not alone. This isn't one paranoid billionaire having a midlife crisis. This is a movement. The ultra-wealthy elite are quietly preparing for something they've given a name. They call it the event. Let's talk about Peter Thiel, the PayPal founder, early Facebook investor, and Silicon Valley legend. He's obsessed with New Zealand. Not for the scenery. He's obtained citizenship there and invested heavily in property, specifically because he views it as a safety haven. It's far from major conflict zones. It has its own food supply, and it's geographically isolated. Then there's Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. This man is literally building the artificial intelligence that could reshape humanity. And what's he doing with his personal wealth? According to multiple reports, he's stockpiling gold, guns, and survival supplies. Think about that for a second. The person creating the future is preparing for the end. So what are they actually afraid of? It's not nuclear war, at least not primarily. It's not asteroids or pandemics, though those are on the list. What terrifies them most is civil unrest, societal collapse, the complete breakdown of order. And here's the twist that should make your blood run cold. They're afraid of the very technologies they created. Artificial intelligence replacing millions of jobs. Automation destroying entire industries overnight. The wealth gap growing so massive that the social contract simply shatters. They've run the numbers. They've seen the projections. And they know what's coming, because they're the ones building it. These aren't conspiracy theorists hiding in basements. These are the smartest, most informed people on the planet. They have access to data and predictive models that you and I will never see, and their response is to build underground fortresses. Now, this fear has spawned an entire industry, a luxury survival market that's absolutely booming. Companies like Rising S Company and Vivos are making fortunes selling underground bunkers to the ultra-rich. We're talking about underground luxury condos. Picture this. 50 feet below the surface, there are apartments with swimming pools, movie theaters, gyms, hydroponic gardens, and enough supplies to last years. Some even have shooting ranges and pet parks. They cost anywhere from $1 million to several $1 million each. The Vivos Europa 1 facility in Germany is built into Cold War-era bunkers and advertises itself as a modern-day Noah's Ark for the elite. They're not even subtle about it anymore. The marketing literally says, for when the world above becomes unlivable. One survival bunker developer said in an interview that after the 2016 election, business tripled. After the pandemic hit, it increased tenfold. He said his clients aren't fringe survivalists. They're hedge fund managers, tech executives, and celebrities. But here's what really reveals their mindset. Some of these billionaires have reportedly discussed how to maintain control over their security forces after societal collapse. They've actually sat around and debated whether they should use special locks on food supplies that only they can open, or whether they should use disciplinary collars on their guards. They're literally planning for a scenario where money means nothing and force is the only currency. Douglas Rushkoff, a media theorist, was once flown out to a luxury resort to give a talk to 5 ultra-wealthy hedge fund guys. He thought they wanted to discuss technology trends. Instead, they spent the entire time asking him about survival strategies. Bitcoin or gold? Alaska or New Zealand? How do we keep our security team loyal when money is worthless? think about the absurdity of that conversation. These are people who could solve homelessness, cure diseases, fix infrastructure. Instead, they're strategizing about how to escape the consequences of a system they helped break. The world's wealthiest people are hedging against the collapse of the very economic system that made them rich. They built empires on capitalism, globalization, and technological disruption. And now they're terrified of what they've unleashed. They extracted wealth from the system, squeezed every drop of profit, lobbied against regulation, minimized their taxes, and now they're buying insurance against the inevitable backlash. It's like setting your house on fire and then congratulating yourself for having a good evacuation plan. Here's what should terrify you. These people have information we don't. They employ analysts and strategists whose full-time job is to predict societal trends. When Mark Zuckerberg builds blast-proof doors, he's not doing it on a whim. When Peter Thiel buys property in New Zealand, there's a calculated reason. When Sam Altman stockpiles gold, he's seen projections that worry him. They know something. Maybe not a specific date or event, but they understand the trajectory. They see the stress fractures in society, the growing inequality, the political polarization, the climate disruption, the automation wave, and they're quietly preparing while the rest of us scroll through their platforms, distracted and divided. So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. If the captains of the ship are putting on life jackets, what should the passengers do? When the people with the most information and the most resources are preparing for catastrophe, is it still paranoia or is it just pattern recognition? You don't need a $270 million bunker, but maybe you need to pay attention. Maybe you need to ask why the people who built our digital world are so eager to escape the physical one. Because here's the truth they don't want you to realize. While they're building walls, we could be building something different. While they're hoarding resources, we could be sharing them. While they're preparing to survive alone, we could be organizing to thrive together. The event they're preparing for isn't inevitable. It's a choice. It's the result of decisions made by people in power. And different decisions could lead to different outcomes. But first, we have to see what's really happening. If this opened your eyes, subscribe, because the biggest bunker the elite have built isn't made of concrete. It's made of silence, and we're about to blow the doors off.